bring it in. Happy now. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Man, right now, man. Now it's so beautiful. Drum circles. Drum circles and how I really, we're going to speak more on drum circles, but how a lot of ancient traditions, are just subliminal signs or subliminal symbols for like things on the spiritual level and things on the metaphysical level. And the other day I was in Lamert Park. I don't know if I'm saying right. Lamert. I'm from Louisiana, and but the park in Cali, not too far from Crenshaw's. In that park and participating in the drum circles. Matter of fact, they do on Sundays because they got them in Venice also. But basically, as I was watching the drum circle, and a lot of times when I'm in those type of settings, and just in general when I'm out and about, because matter of fact, after experiencing like a DMT trip and really seeing how like when I close my eyes, like almost like that's our true existence. Like it's not about what I'm actually seeing, but it's about the vibrations I'm feeling and hearing, and kind of just feeling it that way. But like as I'm sitting out by the drum circle, I experienced it in two different ways. I observed it and had little realizations from that, and I observed it without my eyes, and had realizations from that. And as I closed my eyes, I just kind of felt that one consciousness of like, the drummers, everybody. Like I'm like, dang, like this is all my mind. Like that's what really true. Like once you realize like everything around you is your mind, is your thoughts. Like whatever situations pop off, whatever, everything is I tell people like we are each other's figment. We are figments of each other's imagination in essence. You know what I'm saying? Because we manifesting these experiences with each other, and plus it's our like vibrations that are attracting us to these places in these moments. But I'm like, it's like I'm feeling like the one organism. I'm like, bro, this is my brain. Like I got the drum circle going on over here. I got people selling arts and crafts in my brain. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's how I'm seeing it. Like like I'm like the whole situation is crystals and stuff. This is all what I manifest, and I indulge in it that way. And then I started also just looking at the nature of it, and I'm seeing like how each person is looking different. You know what I'm saying? Like you got my Moorish brethren over here with the fez hat. Got the Rasta brethren. I, the Idrin. Getting it in. You know, might have somebody, no particular, just with the culture, you might have a Hispanic person right here, you know, white person. I'm trying to think, like trying to get, what we call a white person, all these different things, but just, the mixture, and like where it's just about the vibes. And I'm watching it, I'm looking at that, like where, in each, the uniqueness of the vibration, how I always talk about we each got a unique vibrational signature. And everything is about cycles and circles, you know what I'm saying? Like from your chakras, down to the Fibonacci spiral that maps out how everything is, like the measurements of your limbs is dealing with the Fibonacci spiral, but everything, is dealing with circles and spirals, because even though, whether Earth is a globe or not, it still is something circular. Even if it was flat, it would be something circular still too. So however there's no ways around that. Everything is about cycles and circles. And DMT trips, psychedelics in general, mostly for what I could speak on, the acid, psilocybin through the mushrooms, and DMT, in some way, form, or fashion, they bring you through that cycle. And there's a life lesson cycle, and you're going through cycles of everything. Like you could be going through cycles of chakras, going from the root to the crown, back to the root to the crown. you could be going through the cycles of light and dark too. As a matter of fact, you could be experiencing all of them at once, but you could be going through the cycles of light and dark. Cause I'm end up probably speaking on it in this video about how my brethren came out here and we were tripping on the LSD, took a little trip, and we were out in public transit, and like every now and then, cause it's been a while since I had a trip, so I had a little dirt on my track. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's the thing, like DMT trip, I made a video about that a while back, like that clean you up, like that lets you see everything, like, cause matter of fact, picture, you go through, realizing and analyzing, the darkness or what's wrong, the lower vibrational things that's still like, within you, like, well, I caught myself having to tell my brethren every now and then, like, man, my bad, cause we was on the bus to go get some herb, cause I felt it kicking in. I wanted a little herb to make sure we ground ourselves. But then, like every now and then, we'll get to that point where the universe making me look at my inner universe and like making it seem like, oh, like the world revolving, like, oh, how can I say, making me feel guilty for us traveling across just for the herb. And it was making me see the duality of it. So that's why, too, you gotta know what's going on. Because I could have easily felt bad that the universe was, letting me see this part, the dark side. I could be like, like, oh, man. Like, and then it instantly was like, but no, this is just some herb and you're just doing what you love. You know what I'm saying? There's no hard feelings. But it was also just showing me, too, like, hey, but be aware, like, like, that's why I kept asking the brethren, man. Like, I would get to that point, man, my bad if I, he's like, nah, it's cool. But I would just always have to verbalize it because it would kind of come at my conscience that way, you know what I'm saying? But again, everything is cycles. And in the drum circle and in DMT trips, I noticed, like, well, the drum circle, it was getting close, time passing. And just like, and also like as above, so below with us going through life and with the afterlife. Well, we're in this physical realm, beating our drums, or the heartbeat, you know what I'm saying, our vibration in general, beating our drums with our uniqueness, unique vibration. And then at certain times, because we all different, it might be time for one person to stop beating the drum, and then, that person, like, all right, pack up their drum and move around. And then two, the collective, musical, the collective music that's being made, or collective vibration, you know what I'm saying, now it changed a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But everybody's still going, like life, everybody's still beating their drum, so-and-so passed away, but we still, and then, the person, and then it switched up. But I started noticing that feeling of, like, where how every aspect of life has that part of, too, being in the drum circle too, I was getting that feeling of like a DMT trip or that rush of soul, like, like I was feeling Gay Day and them flowers moving, and I'm like, oh, and it's that you get into that mode, like, so say for instance, just like psychedelics have you in that mode where you in there with spirit, you loving it, you feeling it, and then that cycle come around, but don't forget you're in this physical realm again. And that's just how that drum circle felt, like, all right, it's Sunday, hey, don't forget tomorrow, Monday, you felt that vibe of like, all right, can't get too lost in the spirit, and matter of fact, showing that balance, being displayed within the hierarchy and with the motions of the drum circle, displaying the circle of life, displaying, like all that. But it's like, like, all right, time to go back to work. And the same thing with the psychedelics, where you be in there, you in that world, and then you kind of come around to that cycle of where, like, all right, you're kind of in here, the eyes rolling back in your head, this and that, but don't forget, you are still in the physical. It's like, yep, you got to kind of find that time, like, it keeps cycling through, but you got to find, that right spot to pull away, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with the drum circle, like, you feeling the vibe, but it's like, all right, one more song, all right, this is the last one, but you still keep going, or, but you end up finding the right one and you're going on. Same thing with life, like, well, we play our drum, you know what I'm saying? Like, my father, for example, playing his drum, and then, coming 2000, what it was, 14, I think, when he transitioned, it was time for him to say, all right, y'all, I'm tired of beating this drum. And, he stopped beating the drum and he left. And now it kind of just left me and my mom, you know what I'm saying? Like, in which our soul family bigger than that, but just for example, on a physical family, you know what I'm saying? But then now it's just me, mom, sister, like it now is the rest of the family beating the drum without my father, And the same example, same difference. And you realize that like it has that same essence of like uniqueness, because I'm feeling like how everybody, this person is a Moor, this person is a Rasta, this person may be a Muslim, this person may be claiming sovereignty, this whatever, and I'm claiming like uh, whatever people fall under or call themselves. But I'm like, but we all one and all together right now, you know what I'm saying? Just like the analogy I always bring up of the body, where you got the stomach, the heart, the intestines, this and that, but they all work together as one body, but uniquely, has different tasks and uniquely give off different vibrations in essence too, just like the chakras. Chakras are all part of one body, but each chakra give off a unique vibration or a unique, sound in essence, because, a vibration turns into sound in essence. So their uniqueness. As a matter of fact, just the fact of a drum being a vibration and a sound and having a pace like that keep you up like a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever little patterns. You know what I'm saying? And hearing the bells ring, but that's within the body. You know what I'm saying? That's everything moving, functioning right. But I thought about that analogy where it just really felt like, and as I closed my eyes and I could hear, people, like certain drum patterns I'm not hearing no more, a certain little thing, I'm like, all right, that person left the drum circle, until it came down to about 5 or 6 people, and then everybody just moving, and the cycle will come back, and then, we be back again, reincarnation. And whether you playing the drums, whether you in the physical or you done cycle through the non-physical, but it's still a cycle, playing the drums and then you take a break from it. Play the drums, then you take a break from it. And also being in a timeless place, because, when you're playing them drums, and if you're not, when you in there and playing the drums too, could also really be tied, like I made the analogy to being in the physical realm, but also with us being in the physical realm, I could tie it to being in the spiritual realm. Like I say, like what just hearing the drums and stuff was like being in a little DMT trip. But then, as time passed and it got darker, then it's like, all right, time to, people checking time and all this and ready, to what tomorrow, getting ready to be back on the human level again, but also displaying that balance, like the drum circle displaying the balance within the universe of like the spiritual and the physical. Like here it is, we getting down, but also, the kid need pampers, this and that, we do things in the physical realm, so we're gonna tend to that also. So it's all displayed, but I mean, too, it's me having those experiences on those realms and being able to tie to, to a drum circle or to, whatever physical physical symbols that I could tie it to, or physical metaphors. But the physical realm is basically a direct personification, of, the non-physical. And even with the drum circles too, I felt like all our spirit guides and the energies of the ancestors was all behind all of us, right there dancing with us, But like a lot of tradition and, different vibes, that come up through different cultures, it'd be a personification of the real processes. Because honestly too, I call goosebumps and chills when I had one of the moments, because I actually had a moment where it kind of took me right back to that place I was in my DMT trip, where I was in that realm of like manifesting things like this, because I was in the afterlife and I was, going through basically where the realm of, it wasn't necessarily of meeting relatives in essence, but more of like connecting, because it wasn't like that, oh, I saw the light and was going to him, but more of like I was in a realm where like whoever I thought of or whatever I wanted to connect to, like soon as I just thought of it, it would, you know, just manifest. But it was in that, you know, on that side. But I felt that feeling as I closed my eyes in one of those moments, and just feeling that oneness of like everything, you know. And I'm like, bro, this is just my mind, and feeling how like right now in this physical realm. Matter of fact, well, when you have these DMT trips, it breaks down this physical realm where actually all it takes is for me to close my eyes like that, and I'm almost back there because I have an experience within my subconscious to go back to. You know, that's why memory retainment for dreams and stuff is so important, and for DMT trips, like taking journals and logging this so you could program your subconscious. So now that it's programming my subconscious, all I gotta do is just close my eyes, and I'm like, matter of fact, I might even jerk like this and catch a tremor like I'm on it, cause I could just go right back there just from closing my eyes, because I have the not only just the memory of it by thought and just by vision, but physical memory of it also, like all the whole experience, you know, in memory. So that's why all it takes is for me to close my eyes and I could go right back there, you know. But you know, it's all about the cycles, putting you through, you know, just the cycles of learning, sifted through, you know, through basically through your own inner universe in essence. Because again, I was talking about the situation. Me and my brethren, we went on an acid trip, and like I remember the beginning of it, where and it's always something, not always, but something to a certain extent, where always a theme going into it, where it got some type of lesson. But I lost $10 right before it started. You know what I'm saying? And that was teaching me a lesson about my carelessness with my herb smoking, and also to show me in order to be abundant, I gotta like be able to lose money and not care about it, you know. Cause say for instance, after I lost the money, I was getting ready to get in human mode. I'm like, all right, nah, it'll come back to you. It'll come back to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, I kind of went go looking for it, and I'm like, you know what, it'll come back. And then after a little while after that, that's when my you know, my LSD hit started kicking in. I'm like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Really, oh well, like going into that world. But like this is the first time ever, and I knew it was spirit that kind of motivated that too. Well, you know, cause I was like, man, I was looking for the herb. So not long after that, and I was telling him that before it started kicking, I'm like, well, I lost this 10, but that's a little lesson, and plus I'm gonna manifest it again. And as I was like, let's go take a walk, and as we start walking, bam, a jury cell came through. Matter of fact, I told that person, I ain't gonna say no name. I was like, shout out to you, you know what I'm saying? Because you just purchased something right when, you know, at a nice time. So bam, and I was like, all right, cool, we gotta get some herb. And that's where the herb, so we go on trap, so it's about to be a little bit of story time. So disclaimer for people, if you just for the first part of the video, then I'm done. I'm about to kind of get into the DMT trip. I'm gonna speak on lessons with it too, but you know, it's part story time. But anyway, where was I? So I manifested the money. So I'm like, all right, cool, man. Let's go get some herb. And as we going, you know, we walking. Matter of fact, through Venice. And then as we stop by Whole Foods, and that's when mine start really kicking in. I'm like, all right. And I'm, you know, when I'm like that, especially in public, I kind of have like you know, I'm one of them people too. When I do a psychedelic or anything, I express myself to the fullest, or I allow myself to not restrict myself so much. You know, like if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like drinking alcohol to go to sleep, or smoking herb to go to sleep and not indulge. Like, nah, you know, I'm taking it, I'm indulging. You know, but we were out and about, and for one, I caught that instance that, all right, Source wants me to experience this around people. Cause I ain't gonna lie, matter of fact, that is very therapeutic for a psychic empath, is to trip in public. Matter of fact, I will prescribe, for which I'm not a doctor, can't prescribe nothing in that manner, because matter of fact, and I'm not giving you nothing, so I can't. But I shall say that doing psychedelics, specifically probably like a LSD, possibly mushrooms, but I'll say the lucid, the acid, because mushrooms will probably have you having that urge to really stay in nature. But like do the psychedelic and take public transit. Like I'm talking about, like take it soon as you feel it start kicking in, hop on public transit. Like, but it was the most. It was very strong feeling because again, with a lot of psychedelics, indirectly in most cases they amplify your metaphysical abilities or your extrasensory perception. So you feeling what people thinking and feeling, like times 10. You know what I'm saying? Like in an awkward moment, it's like your whole body is just like just really like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody come by you and you could feel them like worried about you or scared, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause that was one thing I kind of laughed about where I was like, bro, well, I caught the realization of how well we own it, and you get certain points like on psychedelics where again showing you how the spirit works because you start to lose track of time and you start to lose track of like who's around you in essence. Like say for instance, like good example where one of us I have to use the bathroom, and sometimes you have to use the bathroom and there's no bathroom right there, so you might have to go, go. Males have that convenience, luckily, you know what I'm saying? But like, well, we would try, find somewhere to duck off, but then like my brethren would be like, but man, I just, like I can't tell if it's like what time of the night it is, like, cause you know how like you kind of conscious, like again that ego kind of being conscious of, well, like, all right, who all watching me? Is it early in the day? Is it late at night? You know what I'm saying? What kind of neighborhood I'm in? Is it a busy neighborhood? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of wondering about these things, but at the same time, because you're in a state where none of these things is being kept up with, it's like you might as well just go with the flow. Because there was so many times where it was like, say for instance 7, maybe 8 o'clock, but because you're just in that realm, like it kind of was feeling like it was like 12, 1 o'clock at certain points until, you know, somehow we come across the time and realize like, all right, damn, we still, you know. But basically, getting on the public transit though, it really allows for you too to kind of cipher through what's your own vibrations and what's not, you know what I'm saying? But you could feel certain people watching, you could feel deeply into other people's vibrations. Like, matter of fact, I felt like from somebody, because it's another thing too, like I could feel whether somebody, murdered people and things of this nature, you know what I'm saying? Like I could feel all of that. And no, I'm not no matter of fact, and that's why too you gotta be careful of your superpowers and this and that and speaking on them, but I don't, you know what I'm saying? Because honestly, all of us could feel that. Like you done been around somebody and like could tell. Because it's not like I could get around somebody and be like, they murdered so and so on the night of so and so. Like nah, but I could just feel like, all right, say for instance, this person might have bited somebody out of self-defense, or this person just really don't care for life. You know what I'm saying? Like I could feel all of that, and it's very intense. Like when you're on a psychedelic, so on that bus, like the different people exchange, I'm like, ooh. Or like I could feel somebody watching me and thinking I'm crazy, and and what's funny, I'm feeding it because I can't help but to laugh that they thinking I'm crazy because I'm feeling it, and I'm laughing at the fact that I'm feeling it. I'm just like, and then two, I like laughing at the realization of like how it's source absorbing source observing source, observing source, observing source. In the matter of here it is that I am on a psychedelic, which I'm observing my inner universe. My inner universe is technically source. So and then my inner universe is being manifested outside of me. And so also the people around me and everything outside of me is source. And they, as an extension of source, is observing me as an extension of source, and vice versa, you know what I'm saying? So it's just nothing but observation going on, you know what I'm saying? Well, and realizing how much that is the evolution, like, well, like the simplicity of, like we our just the simplicity of us observing each other is, part of our evolve, that helps the evolving stages of our existence. But like, I was feeling like, damn, like, you know how here it is, they looking at me like I'm crazy, and then because they don't know what's really going on, I could look at them like they crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but we all one organism. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just going through those little and kind of laughing at the realizations. Like, bro, how stupid are we? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just a beautiful thing, you know. But definitely hopping on the public transit. And again, like, I kept going through them points of, because you go across your own realizations where I'm like making sure, like, matter of fact, watching myself, because one of my things is making sure I don't talk too much, you know. As a spiritual teacher and as a, a Capricorn kind of slash Sagittarius, you know, Sagittarius talkative, outspoken, you know, I be having to watch myself and how verbose I get at sometimes. As a matter of fact, I talked about that with my brethren where, you know, well, that's why, like, say for instance, he was working on that, but the reason too why we was around each other, because we both was working on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like I always be conscious of it, and it came out during the trip where sometimes I was talking and running about certain things, and then something would hit me like, you know, like either you're talking too much or check with the brethren to make sure you're not talking too much. I'm like, man, my brethren, look, I apologize. I think, matter of fact, and just realizing the realization in that, you know what I'm saying? Because again, it's pulling out that shadow. So again, it going through the cycle, light and then shadow. You know what I'm saying? Like the part that try to hide from you, just being blatantly showed to you. You know, like, all right, I do need to fix that. You know what I'm saying? That's basically, honestly, that's what, not only psychedelics help you to go through the experience of bliss, and if strong enough, if you go in there deep enough, you could experience like what the death experience feel like, and really, you know, put that memory in your body. But it's also like to let go of your ego and to kind of face your dark side in essence. You know, because I remember like comparing my first DMT trips to my later ones, where it was more of me experiencing the dark side on the beginning trips compared to the ones further down the line, because I kind of did, you know, I did most of that work on the first trips, you know, and it got that out the way. In which whenever it could pop up again, that's when I, you know, deal with it, and it kind of cleanses myself. But it also kind of helping me again look within, and, you know, seeing what I need to make sure I work on. Cause also making sure, watching over like that feeling of the world revolving around me, where I'm not like that super me first person, but I do have to watch myself where, like, well, you know, if you offer me to suggest what, you know, like, and I'm gonna go for it, you know, but sometimes I could feel that, all right, maybe I'm, you know, controlling this situation too much. Let me ask what they want to do, what they, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, I'm not super like that, but a little bit of it is in me, and I caught, you know, just catching it, shadow stuff. So I'm making sure, like, my brethren, man, you sure you want to ride with me to come get this herb? Because, you know, we on the bus, and, you know, like, oh, man, it's cool, you know, and it's, all right, cool. And then instantly it kind of go to the light side of like, yeah, man, it's cool. You just gonna get your, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, bro, this is, but, and that's the parts too that could throw you off and make you think you're crazy or something, because you're not understanding what's really going on in these trips. You know, you don't know that it's you going through the light and then being brought through the dark, so you're gonna kind of automatically think like, bro, why I keep going to this negative place? You know, because matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie, it was the first thing I kind of thought when I first came across it. Was like, you know, all right, like, why I'm kind of being forced back to this negative place. And it makes you feel uncomfortable. But the only reason why you feel uncomfortable is because your ego and your psyche, your subconscious, is not used to knowing that it takes facing the dark side in order to get to the light. You know what I'm saying? That metaphysical alchemy, you know what I'm saying? So because you don't have that overstanding in your subconscious, these situations when you're on psychedelics scaring you. So whenever you find yourself to be spooked on the psychedelic, put it like this: if whatever you spook of, go towards it, or don't be scared of it. Because if you're being spooked of it, that's your ego being scared, trying to hold you into the construct of being scared of it. Like, nah, then, you know, move forward through it, you know. Because again, that's what it really breaks down, is breaking down that ego, you know, breaking down that subconscious of the physical existence, you know what I'm saying? Really letting you feel your vibrational existence. But the public transit, I definitely say, that's a good lesson, especially for psychic empaths, because for one, it also teaches you to be a little hard body, because that existence of trying to hide from everybody, man, especially if you're somebody that like to enjoy yourself. Like, matter of fact, being in Cali, like, of course, you won't want your space, and they got a lot of people that may not be good vibes, but it's also people with good vibes and places with good vibes, and it's like holding yourself in a little hole, being scared and not experiencing, all because I'm a psychic empath and it's just too overwhelming. And it's like, nah, man, you got to get out of that box, And then, matter of fact, and what that taught me too was to embrace everybody, like no matter what walk of life, and which I always keep this consciously, within me. But it just really helped me to reassess, because like sometimes I slip up, like in conversations, where I still try to hit people on to the level of consciousness that I'm on, and I could tell where I'm kind of slightly hinting it and pushing it on them, and I needed that realization to catch myself to get back to like, letting this be for truly for whoever really, really looking, and leave everybody else alone. Let them be who they are, you know what I'm saying? On all levels. Like, if a person wanna love, Jesus Christ and think he real, then that's their thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But I definitely suggest that, like, and every now and then, because I had a trip in pub, like going out and about before, but, as matter of fact, because another thing too, I like when I go certain places too, I like to be so honest about it, where like if I'm really in there, like I remember going to the dispensary and telling the girl like, hey, I'm really like I'm in that realm, so if I seem awkward to you or whatever, she's like, oh look, I understand this and that. Matter of fact, she even looked out for us too on the earth, you know what I'm saying? But like what I was gonna say. Cause I felt like it was a little important. I was talking about being out in public, you know what I'm saying? And like how I could feel, the vibes of like, all right, this person like really, really staring at me. I could feel this person, what they did last year, what they thinking about right now. You feel all those different things, but again, allowing you to feel that interconnectedness without tripping out. Because again, you're gonna, like, newsflash, there's never necessarily, or maybe you might have one through punishment, like where you have to live through solitary, since since you probably asked for that, or like you one of them people where you wanted to be by yourself but then you really didn't, but as punishment in that sense, not necessarily punishment, but just the cause and effect of that lifestyle where you have to live a lifetime in the astral planes, in solitude. But for the most part, you're always going to be around and be interacting with other vibrations. So, it's very important to learn how to embrace that, you know what I'm saying? Like to be able to interact with different vibrations, and keep it moving, and not let those situations like overwhelm you on a level where you just feel like you got to run from everybody, because that's definitely what that helped me with. But that's all I have to say about that. That's basically it. I forgot where this video started at, but that's a good thing. I'm so in the moment with the information. Just going. Was it I don't know if it's the drum circles. Yep, how the drum circles pattern the circle of life. The life and death cycle. You know what I'm saying, and all cycles in general. Because another thing too, as above, so below. Where the drummers, I also pictured the drummers being planets. And how like the drummers certain vibration, how like Saturn is playing its drum and giving off a certain vibration, and Sirius is playing a certain drum, playing giving off a certain vibration, and this star and this galaxy and this, what I'm saying, is all playing vibrations in a big song, in a big, the big movement of things. And then just on a bigger time scale where it takes which there's no, time in that essence. But on the bigger time scale, it just takes them longer for their cycles. The bigger, the further out you go in the macrocosm, the bigger the cycle, in which that's what it seems like, because that's down for something big to small, like say for instance, perfect analogy, like why, like say for instance, if a fly was right here, because of how small a fly is, it is literally living in a different dimension in essence, and to a level where, like when I would go to swipe at it, it almost seemed like this, like ooh, and that fly like flying around my hand 20 times, and then I slap. Same thing as above, so below. So something bigger out there in the macrocosm is gonna move slower to us, because we're something smaller. So in essence, we're living on a different dimension on that level. That's pretty key. And what's funny, that this gym is at the end of this video, so people who wasn't meant to, people won't catch that if they ain't ride through the whole video. So seeing how that works, what I'm saying, like the lesson in just riding it out. The tortoise in the hair. But yeah, that's a good analogy. Like, so something in a macrocosm is, to us moving slower, slower. But down here is like, in the smaller move, like we're moving fast and we could dodge it. Same thing as above, so below with us in comparison to a fly. Like where we like moving slowly to them and they like, like, as above, so below on that level. But that is basically it. Yep, that's it. Just trying to make sure I got everything. Matter of fact, while I'm just, just start, thank y'all, thank everybody for the love and support. Matter of fact, because what's funny, I try not to do this every video, but like just, being grateful, and in essence too, loving myself enough to say, hey, I do have a donation box, set up. Because what's funny, you catch that vibe of where you don't want to be like a preacher. So it's like, like donation, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, with it, through your own divineness, whatever, a penny, whatever, just you looking at the video is a donation, because it's a view that helps to go towards a little revenue that YouTube give out. I say little, but I'm still grateful for it. But you know what I'm saying, thank y'all for y'all support, matter of fact, and thank y'all for watching the videos, spreading them and sharing them with others. Matter of fact, I'm as I'm growing with this, I'm trying to make sure I bear down and take care of my website, get that together also, in which I try not to speak too much on things because the ego sometimes could put the foot in the mouth, but I know I'm gonna finish the website. What's something else I wanted to say, well, I'll get into it, but just thank y'all for all the blessings and support, from purchasing the jewelry, donations, everything is greatly appreciated. That's basically it, man. Thank y'all for everything, and may y'all continue to support. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna start even, which I made a move on it, but gonna start tweaking again the playlist. Start making more playlists, so the videos and all the information could be more consumable for y'all. Cause I understand that, as much as y'all should, like I should, and that's the thing, being old school, like, well, you should have to do it like how we had to do it, but to a certain extent, you should, like, I mean, we all have to research, and the research comes with getting the knowledge, but because I know the way things work, and a lot of us operate off the reptilian brain and not gonna dig through all the videos, I'm gonna make, playlists to make it easier to find, As a matter of fact, I'm gonna start make a playlist too of some of my older videos that, don't get too much play, but that may have, or I know that have great messages in them, so I'm gonna make a playlist for that. But Again, thank y'all for everything. Uh, if you feel videos or donation worthy, I do have the link under mostly all my videos since the last few months. So that's there. But blessings, thank y'all for purchasing jewelry, helping me support me on that level. But it's a mutual exchange. That's why I make sure I take care of the jewelry and make sure I'm keeping myself in the right state of mind to deliver good videos. Cause I see the feedback and I see how much it helps. Ain't nothing like, forget the money. Like when I get a feedback like, bruh, I love the bracelet. Like, man, I could feel it as soon as I put it on, man. Or like, it's not like these little ones in the store, bro. Got a little weight to it, or this and that. Like that feel good to hear that. You know what I'm saying? That keeps it going. Or like, bro, all your videos help for this and that. Like that all. And matter of fact, I'm grateful for that feedback. Also, continue. You know, with the feedback, man. I love the feedback. Good to know that I'm out there helping. What things y'all, what's on y'all mind, basically. Cause I may not answer all kind of messages, but I kind of may give a little eye to certain things, and see it may answer certain things, especially something that that's definitely righteous, in essence. So, but thank y'all for everything. But peace, happy now, and now is the vibrate. The rate at which we vibe. The rate at which we vibe. Right now. Peace.